this is something new. Alice, it's also a creator and entrepreneur because I think everybody who builds something is an entrepreneur. And you are also a social entrepreneur because you are telling people stories that will last for life. We are we are only living on this planet because of the whole environment, the whole uh, biosystem that we are getting inside. So, Alice, I would love to know how is going this week for you. What was your expectations and how is going?
Well, it's my first time at New York Climate Week. I've been to so many of the climate conferences, the United Nations COPs, last year in Egypt, before that in Glasgow, in Scotland. But New York feels different. There are so many people here, so much like
Open?
activism. It's open, you mean?
They are opened.
Yeah, it
Do you
feels.
feel that?
I definitely feel that. There's, like, compared to some of the more closed UN events, this feels like civil society is here, activists are here. So many of my friends from the climate community, climate justice activists are here. And of course, I mean, we're here in the Sustainable Development Goals Pavilion at the United Nations headquarters. It's cool to navigate these different spaces, to be in here within the system, having conversations about policy, but also out on the streets. There was the most incredible march on Sunday, the March Against Fossil Fuels. And the climate movement is in a really interesting place right now. I think there's a real building momentum, and I've been telling climate stories for a while, and it just feels like everyone is really waking up to this issue. But how are you finding it? How's it been for you?
Yeah, for me was a huge opportunity to be here. It's my first time on UN, to be on the assembly, on this huge reunion. And Lula, president, was opening the session because Brazil has this tradition of opening the assembly, the assembleia.
Yeah,
like
assembly.
the meeting. And for us, I think Brazil is on the center of the discussions. Yesterday I had Marina Silva,
Amazing.
our minister. She's talking about that, like from 30 years maybe from now. And I was thinking before coming here, oh my God, that woman spent her whole life talking about something that only right now everybody are waking up.
Yeah.
How difficult it is to support, to maintain, to be resilient, speaking loud, and being so. I live in Brazil, and I saw these women being, how can I say, offended because the way she loves nature and Amazon. People would say, this is a crazy
woman.
Who is crazy now? You know, when I look at what we are doing with our planet. And for my point of view, I'm not only on financial literacy, because to make people think about money is to make people think about consumption. And when you make people think about consumption, you make they think about the whole dynamic, about the whole capitalism system, which is based on consumption.
100%.
So, yeah.
I run a platform called Earthrise, and we tell human stories from Climate Frontlines. So Indigenous rights and Indigenous stories have been a huge focus for us. And so I've been traveling out to Brazil for the past 3 years.
Amazing.
And I love Brazil. I'm so passionate about it, and I'm very excited to be speaking to you, and also just seeing the rise of Brazil in this space and talking about this issue. I mean, there's a massive opportunity for them to be a leader. And I've got to know some of the amazing Indigenous women who are leading the movement, but also have started to run for election and won. And Sonia Guajajara, who's now the Minister for Indigenous Peoples, is, well, one of my heroes, and I've been filming her for the past 2 years and following her journey, so it's been a massive inspiration for me to see that, and the role of Indigenous rights globally in conservation and in climate justice is such an important story, and we're so lucky to be in this space talking to some of the amazing climate leaders, the thought leaders, people who are talking about the SDGs in general, which is such an interesting framework, because I think one of the challenges with climate storytelling is explaining climate isn't just a single issue. It intersects with everything you're talking about, right? You mentioned financial literacy is not just about financial literacy, it's about consumption. These issues are so interrelated, and everyone that we get the chance to speak with is focused on an issue, but we know that it intersects with so much more. And, you know, the next few years already. I mean, you just look at all the extreme weather events that are happening.
Yeah.
This issue is here, it's not in the future, and unfortunately, it really needs urgent action.
Yeah, so let's stay awake. I think it's everything we can do.
Yeah.
Use our voices to spread some very important message. And being here is such an amazing opportunity to do that.
We're so lucky.
Hope someone listen to us.
Yeah.
And we are not
Hi
here
guys,
like speaking
please
at
listen.
crazy girls who has some dreams. I hope you can actually do something. Not only listen to passionate girls or women talking about their subjects, but yeah, get up and leave your room. Yeah, leave your phone. Do something.